Hey everybody, this is Alex Moser at Blue Corona. It's 3 o'clock. I think we're going to get started in the next couple minutes. I'm just going to wait for a few more people to join. So hold tight. We'll be getting started, by 3:05 Eastern. Thanks, guys. All right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Thanks, everybody, for joining me today. This is Alex Moser at Blue Corona. I am the Director of Account Development here at Blue Corona. I think it may have shown Brandon Doyle as the one leading this, but I'm just using his GoToWebinar account. So again, this is Alex. I really appreciate everybody joining me today to talk about the future of SEO. If you are a client of Blue Corona's investing in SEO, then all of this stuff is just for education, and it's what we are, actively doing for your SEO, for your website and your company. For anybody not investing in SEO, maybe investing in something else with Blue Corona, this can just give you an idea as to what we think is coming up in terms of SEO. And if you're going to do it yourself, here are some big strategies to try. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. I also will open up the presentation for questions at the end, and there is a questions section of the GoToWebinar panel. It should be towards the bottom. You can just type a question in there. Again, I'll go look at those and answer them towards the end. Okay, with that, let's get started. Let's first walk through a quick agenda. So first, I will walk through a very brief history of SEO itself. Then I'll talk through the 7 big strategies that we are focusing on as it relates to really the future of SEO. I'll do a quick recap and then open it up for questions. Simple as that. All right, so let's get started. So in terms of the evolution of SEO, the first website was launched on the internet in 1991. 1994, SEO was not a thing yet, but somebody by the name of Eric Ward, he was the first to publish looking for people to link back to his website based on relevancy and connection, which is really a big part of Google's ranking factors even today. 98, Google was created as a company. 2003, keyword stuffing was a huge SEO strategy. Like stuffing in, I don't know if you guys can see this, if your monitor's big enough, the words cheap flights are listed in red 1 million times through this small paragraph of content. That used to be a way to get your site ranked high up on the first page of Google. more than 15 years ago. 2008, Google introduced the suggestion box. So that gave SEO companies further insight into how users surf the web and interact with certain pages and what keywords people are searching, really shifting the focus from business to consumer. 2011, Google released the Panda 1.0 update to its search engine algorithm. This was Google's big shift towards providing relevant content to users. And Google started penalizing websites that really just had weak and poor quality content. 2012, Google's Penguin update. So Google has made all these algorithm updates over the years, and they used to name them names like Panda and Penguin. So the Penguin update was 2012, and it was targeting websites that violated Google's webmaster guidelines. Specifically, it was penalizing websites with spammy backlinks and purchase links, and websites that were manipulating the rankings with links. So think like many of you were probably pitched for $300, we'll get you 1,000 links to your website. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about there. 2013, Google really started rewarding websites that focused their efforts into engaging users by answering the user's questions with rich, informational, original content. Okay. 2015, there are two things with 2015. RankBrain. So the brain I have over there. RankBrain is machine learning technology that learns like humans do. So like think AI. Google's algorithm continuously evolves, learning along the way and producing better results for customers searching, as they go. Also in 2015 was Mobilegeddon. That was April of 2015. That was when Google said that if your website isn't mobile friendly, you're no longer going to show up in the search results for mobile phones. Google was basically announcing that they had a separate algorithm for mobile people on mobile phones. 2016, Google's head of search confirmed that the three most important ranking factors are backlinks, content, and RankBrain. And today, 2019, still largely the same, but with a few updates always from Google. Content still reigns king, along with mobile friendliness and consumer intent. But now let's talk about the future of Google. So the future of Google is going to be all about consumer intent, mobile friendliness. It's all about mobile, voice search, localization, authority. Okay, so now let's talk about the 7 SEO strategies that we are focusing on now based on what I just showed you, the future of Google. So the first one is all about mobile. You got to think mobile first. Okay, next we want to build a fast website and maintain a fast website. I'm going to go into more details on each of these moving forward. Next, you really want to build a brand and get people to link back to it. You want to answer users' questions, optimize for voice search, maximize online real estate with reviews, reviews that are great reviews and they help with the local pack and rich snippets. I'll go into all that. And you want to invest in local SEO, especially if you're a local business targeting a local area. All right, so let's tackle this first one first, which is mobile. Okay, so there are a few things here. Of course, you want a mobile-friendly website. Google's primary ranking index is a mobile index. They're focusing on mobile first, and that's because more than half of all web traffic is from mobile devices. Okay, so mobile first is important. With that, providing a positive mobile experience for users who are using their cell phones or smartphones to view your website is of top importance. The user's experience is a Google ranking factor. So mobile experience is a ranking factor. 38% of people stop engaging with a website if the content on the site or the layout is unattractive or frustrating to use. So think about that from a mobile perspective especially. Next, 48% of people cite a website's design as the number one factor in deciding whether a business seems credible. Okay, so we really want to give users what they want. and as high up as on the page as possible. So again, you got to have a mobile-friendly website and provide a positive mobile experience for your users. Next, all about website speed. You got to have a fast website. There are all sorts of ways to get load times to be faster. Here are some of them written. This is all stuff that we do for our clients, but 80% of a page's load time is spent downloading all the different elements of the page. So if you think about the more files and plugins and features your website has, the slower the page speed could be. A 1 second delay in page load time typically results in 11% fewer page views and a 7% loss in conversion. So when we at Blue Corona build websites, we're constantly keeping in mind the balance between having all the bells and whistles and making sure that the site loads quickly. Because who cares about the bells and whistles if people aren't sticking around long enough to even see them, right? So, and the same goes for our ongoing work on websites. Over time, you get a new website, over the years, you have more and more things you want to add to the website, whether it's photos or videos or cool functionality. Again, we're always keeping in mind site speed as we make recommendations to you. Next is you want to build a brand and get people to link back to it. You can see over here, this is a search for an HVAC company in Charlotte, North Carolina, and what comes up when you search their company name. So you want to make sure that when you do search your company name, the results that show up there, of course, your website will be at the top, assuming you have a website. If you're working with us, you do. And then below that, like what shows up below that? You want to make sure you claim all of your local listings, and that you're building your brand. Branded search is a Google ranking factor. Authority is a Google ranking factor. So you really want to take advantage of anywhere on the web that talks about your company, especially in a positive way. Try to get a link from them, right? You want to claim unlinked backlink opportunities, right? And of course, you want to supplement your SEO with other types of campaigns, both digital and non-digital, to grow your brand. Okay, next, this is a big one. Answer users' questions. And by users, I mean people who are using Google to search for something. All right, so this is all about user intent. What is the implied question being asked when someone does a search online? Obviously, this, if you guys can see, I know that the font may be small, but it says, this is a Google search. Why does my AC smell like rotten eggs? Another type of search is just AC repair, right? With AC repair, there's an implied question there, whereas this is an actual written question. But for those of you who've been working with Blue Corona on SEO and content marketing for any amount of time, you probably know our stance on content and answering prospective customers' questions. And that stance is that it's an incredibly important piece to the SEO puzzle, right? So digging a little deeper, Google is all about providing answers to its users' questions. Google wants to make sure that Google is the search engine that users keep coming back to. And Google's making sure that by providing relevant, helpful websites in its search results. And by relevant and helpful, I mean relevant and helpful answering the questions that are implied by the keywords being searched. Right? So Google wants to give great search results and great content in its search results. So we have to understand what users, i.e. people searching on Google, are looking for. And we use all sorts of keyword tools to do this. I kind of mentioned some of them over here. The Google Keyword Planner, Moz Keyword Explorer, Google Suggestion Box. There are many more. And then we create content on the website to address those topics, whether it's product and service pages on the website, blog posts, frequently asked questions pages, case studies, galleries, videos. The list goes on. Okay, and then we use all of that to win the featured snippets section of the search results. Featured snippets. This is sort of one example of it. Where Google just answers the question right there in the search results. You didn't even technically have to click on the link to be showing up in there. Okay. Next, we want to optimize for voice search. I'm sure a lot of you have a Google Home or an Amazon Alexa, and you may use Siri or whatever on your iPhone to ask for questions or ask questions. So 20% of all mobile searches are actually voice searches, and only 4%, according to Search Engine Land, which is an industry publication, an SEO, search engine marketing industry publication. According to them, only 4% of U.S. businesses are voice search ready, and they analyzed over 75,000 company websites. So it's kind of interesting. There are 37 directories that directly feed into voice search platforms, including like Google Maps and Bing, Yelp, Facebook, and more. So when it comes to voice search, you want to do these things that we're already doing anyway. Okay, if you're doing SEO, investing in SEO with Blue Corona, these are all the things that we've been working on. But again, when it comes to voice search, you first want to make sure that your NAP, name, address, and phone number, are really locked down when it comes to all of your local directory listings. You want to have your website also listed in those listings, your hours of operation. You want to have your business name be consistent across all of those directories, street address, and so on. Voice search is also pulling answers from those rich snippets that I showed on the last page. And Google is currently actually testing in-SERP appointments for spas and restaurants and other types of businesses. Theoretically, this will eventually lend itself to, service businesses like many of you guys on this webinar today have. So we'll see. Google currently testing something. Google tests stuff all the time. I think it's mostly most of those tests may start somewhere over in California, but and a lot of these tests result in no action being taken and them deciding, that doesn't work. Let's move on. But we're seeing that is happening. And of course, the Google Local Services ads. Those are those ads, pay-per-lead ads, which are at the top of search results for certain industries. Not all industries, but for certain ones, pay-per-lead ads above the pay-per-click ads. Those also do show up in the voice search results. And if you have questions about Google Local Services ads, talk to me at the end or contact your account manager if you're not running those yet. They're now nationwide. Okay, moving on. The next big piece of SEO, the thing that we're focusing on is maximizing online real estate. Let's talk about the search engines. Search engines drive still 70% of all website traffic. Google is 90% of that. So when I talk about maximizing your online real estate, again, let's start with the search engines. What I mean by that is you want to take up as many spots on that first page of Google as possible, right? So there are far more different types of listings or results on a Google search results page now than there were 2 years ago and 5 years ago and 10 years ago. So I'm going to show you some of those. Here's a list of all different types of the listings that exist on Google. But here's one. This is called the knowledge graph. If you search this company name in Google, you'll have the normal organic search results, and then you'll have a box like this pop up on the right side of Google that really just has all their company information, really easy to view right there, ready to go. You'll have answer boxes like this. This shows up at the top of the first page of Google when you search that keyword, so that you really don't even have to leave the search results page. You can just read the answer right there. Here's an example of course, the maps listing, the local pack, and some ads at the top. You have Google Local Services ads as well up here. Those are what I mentioned before. These are pay-per-lead ads. These are pay-per-click ads down below. There are also things like rich snippets. Rich snippets are, let me see. Rich snippets show up in the organic search results as well. Okay. Next and finally is local SEO itself. I sort of mentioned that on the last couple of slides, but if you're a local business, you're not targeting the whole country. You're targeting a geography around your office. You got to focus on local SEO because it does take up a significant portion of that first page of Google search results. So what I mean by that are these Google My Business listings. Again, NAP, which is name, address, phone number. Those NAP citations, the more of them that you have correct and consistent, the better your rankings both in the organic search results and the local pack results will be. Again, I can't tell you how many companies have a slightly different name, even if it's just a matter of a comma being there versus not being there in 2 different directory listings. It all matters. So you just want to make sure that your company name is consistent across all the listings. Next, local backlinks are just as important as nav citations. A local backlink, what I mean by that are like local news articles or local media mentions, or these local media are mentioning your company. Same with any community sponsorships. Again, think sponsoring the local Little League baseball team or any local member organizations like your local NARI or your local ACA chapter. Any of those, if you can get a link from their website or from an article about you on their website, ask for that link. And finally, do not, above all else, engage in any link swapping or spamming link building schemes. Okay, so we still get spam emails saying, hey, if you put a link on your website to my website, I'll link to your site. Like, that stuff is unnecessary. Don't engage in any link swapping just for the heck of it, because it doesn't help. Okay, so quick recap. The 7 SEO strategies to focus on now, that we are focusing on now if you're doing SEO with Blue Corona. Mobile is incredibly important, and we got to think mobile first and a great mobile experience. Next, fast websites are incredibly important. Number 3, you want to build a brand and get people to link back to it. Number 4, you want to answer users' questions in your content, on your website, in the Google question and answer section, and anywhere else you can. You know, think Facebook and Houzz and other places you may have profiles. Answer users' questions. You want to optimize for voice search. Number 6 is you want to maximize your online real estate. I mentioned the several different types of listings on Google. So you want to have the organic listings, reviews, local, a company profile in the local pack. That's the Google My Business listing, Google Local Services ads, and more. And then finally, local SEO is incredibly important too. If you're a local business serving a local, a small area rather than the whole country, you got to focus on your local SEO efforts. So with that, I will open it up for any questions. Okay, I have one. Do review platforms help or hurt SEO? I use ReviewBuzz. So it really depends on the type of platform you use. I would say I don't know of any that actually hurt your SEO. It's just a matter of whether they help or they just help you get reviews. There are some platforms out there that help you get more reviews, which is fantastic, and then they publish the reviews on a page like abccompany.reviewbuzz.com. And then, you could link to that little landing page from your website to show off your positive reviews. If the review platform helps you actually get reviews on Google, great. If it doesn't, but it gets reviews added to your website, that can help with the SEO of your website. It just doesn't necessarily help with reviews on Google. So it just depends on the type of platform. They definitely don't hurt your SEO unless they're doing something pretty sketchy. But from what I've seen, no, they don't really hurt SEO, and they certainly can help. Okay, I got one more question. What does an SEO package include at Blue Corona? It includes all sorts of things, but the big thing is content marketing. So we do all sorts of keyword research, figuring out which keywords your prospective customers are searching when they're thinking about buying your product or service, right? We want to figure out what is the whole list of keywords that we should be focused on, and focus on making sure that your website is ranking on Google for those keywords. So then we take an inventory of how is your site ranking right now for those keywords, right? We have a software platform where we're tracking website rankings for keywords and which pages on your site are ranking for those keywords. And so in that process, we identify, okay, we got all these keywords where we're actually on the second page of Google. We're not on the first page of Google. So What do we do to get the client's website ranking on the first page of Google and as high up on the first page of Google as possible for those keywords? And then we look at who is ranking above us on the first page of Google for those keywords. What are they doing? What's going on their page? What are they doing differently? And how do we, take a page from their playbook? How many words do they have on their page? How many instances of the keyword we're focusing on? How many instances of that keyword exist on the page? How many backlinks do they have? How fast is the page? We really want to look at. We do a little competitive analysis every time we're trying to optimize a page on your site to get it ranking better on the and higher on the first page of Google. So we're doing a lot of keyword research and strategy planning, creating new pages. If a client is selling a product or service and they don't even have any information about it on the website, it needs its own page. We got to create a page. So we do a lot of content creation and then going back through and optimizing existing pages, whether that's adding more content or tweaking the content or tweaking something else about the page to get it ranking on Google. We take care of all the local SEO, NAP citations, Google My Business, and all that as well. And then we're always seeking out link building opportunities as well. Okay, those are all the questions I have or that I've received. So if anybody has more questions, feel free to shoot me a note, alex@bluecorona.com, or get in touch with your account manager. Thank you guys so much for your time this afternoon. I really appreciate it. And we will have this webinar linked on the Blue Corona website under the webinars tab on our homepage in the next couple of days. So if you want to refer back to it, it'll be linked on there. Again, thank you so much for your time. Hope everybody has a great day. Bye.